Welcome back to Fox and Friends. Could privateers help take down cartels in the Caribbean Sea? Republican lawmakers Tim Burchett and Mike Lee hope so. They're introducing bills to both the House and the Senate, respectively. The president would issue a letter of marque, which lets private citizens act against U.S. enemies and seize property, something that has not been done for over 200 years. And it's already gained support from Elon Musk, who says, quote, it would work super well. The man behind the mission, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, joins us now. Congressman, so great to have you on. So why do you think this is necessary to have a bill to allow private citizens to do this?
First of all, we're basically under attack, and there's constitutional consequences. This was done by, I believe, President Jefferson first, the Barbary Pirates. It's in the Constitution. It's provided for. It just has to get congressional approval, and I think it's a legitimate way to go after these cartels. They're not they're armed combatants, so they're not necessarily military. So there's a constitutional question, and you know, Congress is like a sieve made out of chicken wire, ma'am. And there's no secrets in this bunch, and there's no loyalty to this great nation, especially our military. And as soon as, you know, I remember back when President Trump took out some Soleimani, I believe it was, who's an evil, evil man. And the Democrats in Congress, Pelosi and the rest of them, they were mad that they didn't get his approval, as if he had to take out this dirt bag. And I think it just gives President Trump just another tool in his toolbox to go after him. And Mike Lee is a superstar, man. There's like, outside of Andy Biggs, I think he's probably my favorite Mormon in Congress.
And, you know, I think by now everybody knows the Democrats, they do not care about America first. They don't care about American citizens. It's been proven many times. I have so many videos on my channel that prove this. And not just by videos, but like the words that are coming out of their mouths. They do not support Americans in this country. Why we have them in government blows my mind. Why are we having them there in government if they're not looking to balance the views of the American people? Instead, their intentions are to bring people from around the world into this country, to bring their ideology, to bring their ideas, their traditions, their values, their morals that a lot of them don't even have, and try to integrate them here in America, expecting American citizens to adapt to other people's ways when it should be the other way around. You come here to the United States of America, you adapt to the American way, our way. We didn't go to your home, we didn't invade your country to say, hey, we're going to be doing things the American way there. We're not doing that in any other country. We're doing it here in America.
Right. Well, do you think that private citizens will actually do it?
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. And they would be, look, they're not going to run an ad in Soldier of Fortune magazine or down here at Toddy's Backdoor Tavern in Knoxville. They'll have privateers that will be former operators. You'll have SEALs, special operations people. It'll be top notch. There's an insurance provision in this. There's all kinds of things that are, it's just not some ragtag thing like you'd see on some movie somewhere. These are going to be first-rate operators. These are men and women possibly that are some of the most patriotic, well-tuned, as you could say, military folks. And I think it's a great way to do it, and it saves all the constitutional back and forth, and it keeps our military out of it.
Well, really quick, 3 days ago, the president reclassified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. This has huge implications for Mexico, not just Venezuela. The fentanyl comes from Mexico, and we know that the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, has a lot of cartel ties. So what do you think this means for the hemisphere and for bilateral relations between us and Mexico?
Isn't that crazy for her to say? Because she has personally already interviewed some people in Mexico, politicians there, that have admitted that President Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, has some ties with the cartels. I mean, this is not just her. This is previous presidents in Mexico. hoping that, the first woman president in Mexico would be different. But no, cartels in Mexico are way too powerful. They have too much of corruption taking over too many places, literally killing off a lot of good men and women that are trying to run for office in Mexico and can't even make it to the office to implement changes to really, help and save the Mexican people, which is very sad. But this is why, there's politicians over there that have said, hey, we want the United States to come over here and help us out, because we can't get it under control. They can't get it under control.
I think they better watch out. I think there's a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald J. Trump. And on the world stage, there's nobody better. Ma'am, I don't want him teaching my daughter's dadgum Sunday school class, but I sure as heck love him in the White House, because he goes after bad people, and they understand that. That's why you don't see us insulted internationally anymore as we did the last 4 years. Under Biden, we'd write a strong letter or ask the UN for permission. We've got a real president in the White House, and he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets the world stage. That's why America is stronger than it ever has been, militarily and economically. And and the left just can't grasp that, and that's why they continue to trash him, because they want the control.
And listen, there's a lot of people out there that that are on two sides of how they feel about President Trump. President Trump coming in, making all these changes, doing great for the American people. But then there's the Epstein list, and a lot of Americans and people out there are like, well, if Trump's on the list, he was part of doing some illegal activities, when he's already admitted many times that he never even been to the island. Yeah, he was on the flight log, he was on the plane, but I mean, we don't know. Pictures are coming out left and right, and people are on here on the internet saying, oh my God, you took a picture with Jeffrey Epstein, you're guilty. Bam, done, over with. No, just because you take a picture with somebody, it doesn't mean you're automatically guilty. If I took a picture with one of my friends in the past, and then come to find out years later that my friend ended up doing some illegal activities with underage kids, and then all of a sudden they pull up a picture of me and my friend in the past, automatically I'm guilty? No, that's stupid logic. That's not even logic. You're looking at a picture of the moment of them thinking it was a good friendship. President Trump claims he didn't know about any of that. He banned him from Mar-a-Lago, I believe he said. He banned him from certain things. He didn't want him near him in his circle. But regardless what you may think, President Trump is actually getting things done. And even if he has done something illegal, nobody's perfect in this world. He is doing everything in his power to redeem himself by implementing good changes for the American people of this country. And that's what people need to take away. People that are getting offended about certain things that are getting taken away for LGBTQ community, things that are not really benefiting the majority of people of this country, should recognize that. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Until next time, peace out, everybody. This one's for Charlie.